Are you satisfied? Happy? Miserable? Are you looking for love in all the wrong places? It's time for the Michelle Hughes Show, where we keep it real. Tune in daily and join our controversial topics as we talk about singles, sex, and men and women's issues. And now, the queen of relationships on the Michelle Hughes Show, always keeping it real. Your host, Michelle Hughes.
Dr. Bill is a certified master life coach. He deals with PTSD, post-trauma stress disorders. And you can reach him at www.drbillpolicy.com or www.makingapositivechange.com. Or you can reach him for that 30-day challenge at 239-349-2209. As I said, tonight we're going to be talking about 7 steps to help you change a habit. I was thinking, have you ever uttered these words? I can't stop my habits, no matter what I do. That is such a self-limiting and self-defeating core belief. This is what Dr. Bill is going to be talking about tonight. And it seems like there's no satisfaction, and you just continue to delve into areas of your life that you can't seem to quit those habits. Dr. Bill, you want to come in and help us with these 7 habits to help us with these 7 steps to change those habits?
I'd love to. Everybody's seeking change nowadays. We're not satisfied with a lot of things that go on in our everyday life, so we want to change. Either change ourselves, change how we think, change our location, how we feel, who we are, or where we work, even how much money we want to make, and many more things. The problem is sometimes we get locked into habits or set in habitual patterns that's almost impossible to change. So there's a difficulty in doing that because we get into what we call comfort zones. A comfort zone is a place that may be fearful and uncomfortable, but we stay in it. We may be afraid to move forward, because what we're doing over and over again, day after day, just settles in, and it just feels right, even though it can be a very hurtful and painful situation. So, the initial phase of change in a new habit is nearly always confusing, fearful, and an uncomfortable experience because of shifting from one comfort zone into another comfort zone.
So, Dr. Bill, I was going to say, I didn't mean to interrupt, but how do you change a habit?
Okay, well, first, let's look at the definition. Simply, a habit is an attitude, a behavior, a belief, emotion, thought, or substance that you repeat over and over again until you do it automatically without thinking. You just do it. And there's many things in our life that we do that. So how do you change a habit? Well, first, a way to change an old habit is you have to recognize that the habit is detrimental to you. And secondly, at the same time, you have to be willing and ready to change that. Now, a lot of us say a lot of things I do don't help me. The way I think or the attitudes that I have don't better my life. But I'm not willing and ready to change. So secondly, you have to identify why you're holding on to old habits, even though those old habits aren't serving you at all. All right? Thirdly, you should work on a willingness to develop and create a desired habit. What is I want to change to? What do I want to do? How do I achieve success, prosper more, and attain happiness? Well, you got to have a desire to change.
That's true.
And the more desire you have to change, the less power the old habit has. Isn't that interesting?
It really is. So what does shifting your mindset, what does that do?
Okay, well, a mindset basically is a fixed attitude. And boy, all of us have fixed attitudes.
Right.
And sometimes, Michelle, they get rather rigid. They get fixed and rigid and you just don't want to change. That's your biases and prejudice and some really hardcore beliefs. That's what a mindset is. So you have to look as, what is my mindset toward the old habit? And is that attitude good? If it's not good, then you've got to look to change that attitude. Two ways of doing that is change it to something you are passionate and excited about. Isn't that neat?
Yes, it is. So
Because
tell me about the relationships between quality versus quantity in changing a habit.
I'm glad you asked. That's real important. People tend to get into changing a behavior, changing a habit, changing a lot of things, and they look at performing through quality. I got to perform it perfectly. I got to perform it right, and lose what you're trying to accomplish. And what you're trying to accomplish is to just do whatever the new habit is over and over again. So you maximize your quantity through repetition, doing it over and over again, because if you're just doing quality, you're going to get into judging and analyzing your performance, whether you're doing it right, whether you're doing it wrong, and that's just a path to failing, and that's not good for anybody.
No, it's not.
So the importance to quantity is repetition and consistent practice. A writer isn't a good writer because they wrote just one book. It's because they write a lot of books. A quarterback doesn't become a great passer from one throw. He becomes a great passer because he can throw pass after pass after pass and complete those passes. So for us to be able to achieve change, we've got to do it over and over again. And that's the hardest thing. Get up every day and do something different. That's real tough because we want to drift back to doing something that's comfortable, even though it's not good for us.
Well, Dr. Bill, repetition is something, but I know you're going to finish up on the habits and how we can learn how to form better habits. But we're going to go to a break. We're going to come right back, and Dr. Bill is going to give you some more information on how to increase those habits.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back as we deal with more heart-to-heart issues. This is the Queen of Relationships on The Michelle Hughes Show, where we keep it real. Stay with us on The Michelle Hughes Show.
Do you want to change your life? Unlock the secrets to making positive changes in your life with a free membership at makingapositivechange.com. Take a chance on yourself. Join the Making a Positive Change community today by going to www.makingapositivechange.com or talk to Dr. Bill directly at 239-349-2209.
It's the Michelle Hughes Show. We keep it real. We talk about singles, sex, men and women issues. Come join the conversation on the Michelle Hughes Show. Are you satisfied, happy, or miserable? Are you looking for love in all the wrong places? Well, tune in daily and join our controversial topics. She is the Queen of Relationships on the Michelle Hughes Show. She keeps it real. Don't miss a show with Michelle Hughes.
That's right. Don't miss a show. And you know Mondays are with Dr. Bill. So make sure you come Monday through Friday. And we're here from 7:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And we are here to give you those relational information that's going to help you as a single. But tonight, Dr. Bill is helping us understand the 7 steps to help you change a habit. Woo! Now that's difficult, Dr. Bill. Listen, I'm going to give you an applause for helping us tonight. That's right. We need it, Dr. Bill. We really do. But you were talking about quality and quantity, but I was going to ask you also, I don't know if you was finished with that, what does research say about developing a new habit?
Well, that's real important because, everybody wants to know how you do it, and everybody researches. So here's a few things that you should know. 1, an action, a behavior, emotion, a reaction, or a thought becomes automatic after 66 days of doing the same thing on average. So in 66 days, you can adapt and embed anything in your life. And think about that. If you did the same thing for 66 days, it would start to be part of you. So that's what research says. 66 days. Next, the subconscious mind rebels against big changes. And I've talked about, when I talk about mind code, about the subconscious and the power that it has and how much it influences us. And sometimes it just says, okay, I'm just going to sit here and wait because after 14 days they're going to stop doing what they're doing and we can go back doing what we intended to do in the first place. So you can persuade your subconscious to change gradually over stages of time through repetition.
Wow.
And then lastly, through constant practice, the action becomes less uncomfortable. As I said earlier, moving from one comfort zone to the next is very uncomfortable. So when you get into that second new comfort zone, you feel uncomfortable.
That's true.
Okay? And generally you go through a period of confusion. The brain, in order to change something, you have to confuse the old thing before you get to the new thing. So you have to be confused about why you were doing the old habit in order to begin to instill the new one.
Okay.
Okay?
That sounds good. That sounds, sometimes habits, when you think about trying to break like eating habits, you're saying 66 days. Sometimes I've heard 21 days. Once you break that habit with 21 days, it will change. But I guess 21 days doesn't work because most time we end up going back to eating our old ways. Our old ways take over.
Sometimes that does it. Sure, like if you drink soda, right?
Yes.
After 21 days, you start to lose the taste. But you don't lose the thought of the taste. it takes more days, say 66 days. If you do not drinking soda for 66 days, absolutely by the end of 66 days you don't have the taste anymore and wonder why you drank it in the first place.
Wow.
So to form and install and become comfortable with a new habit, you have to put something in action. You got to be excited and you got to be passionate about it. And the more you do that, the more you can convince your subconscious that the new behavior or habit is good.
That's true. That's true. I know even with myself, if I don't change that mindset, I have to get into a certain mindset to say, I'm determined, I'm going to do it, you know. And because no one can do that for you. You have to make up in your mind that you're going to make this change in order to overcome the habit, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You've got to be determined to do it. And the best way of looking at it is what I was doing detrimental to me.
That's true. But tell me something, Dr. Bill. What are the 7 steps to changing a habit?
Okay, here we go. For your listeners, number 1, pick an old habit you want to change. It's real important. Don't pick 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. The more you pick trying to do it, then you can't put 100% into it.
That's true.
So pick just one, the most important one, and once you achieve that, once you do the new one in 90 days, go to the second habit you want to change, and after 90 days, another one. So within almost a year, you can change 3 habits that aren't doing you any good. Number 2, determine the attitude that you need to instill the new habit. As you said, it's real important that you have a strong mindset, that you're determined. 3, create and focus on a new habit you'd like to form. Concentrate on development of the new positive pattern, and don't attempt to ignore the bad one. We don't change by ignoring something. The more we try to ignore something, believe me, the more you will think about it.
That's true.
The more you say, I can't have a donut, the more your subconscious says, oh, I need a donut bad.
Yes, that's true.
You know?
Yeah, you end up eating that donut. You find that donut, too.
Yeah, or hey, it finds you.
Oh, it finds you. That's right.
Number 4, visualize the habit you want to instill.
Yes.
Be comfortable with it in your mind. Sometimes practicing things in our mind, we can shift quicker and develop a habit faster when our mind and our body are in sync. So if you have that vision of you doing it, you can adapt a lot quicker and a lot easier while your body is doing it. Sports people do that a lot. They don't always have to get on the field and practice, but they can practice in their mind and see themselves doing something over and over again, and they're more successful. They've done a lot of research on that.
I believe that.
Okay, 5. Consistency is most important. Make a contract with yourself, or, which is important, make a accountability contract with a partner, with a friend, with a spouse, to practice that intended habit, because we have more tendency to do it when somebody else is helping us support what we're doing. And we get more embarrassed when we don't do it. They said, did you go out and run today? No, I didn't feel that good. So, accountability is a big thing, and you can get that from a partner to help you do that. 6, set up a support system for yourself. Get family members, get spouses, get friends. The more people who know that you're trying to change something, the easier it gets. The more you make it a secret, the harder it is to change.
That's true.
Okay? Or the easier to go back to the old one. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well,
if nobody knows, if it's a secret, boy,
true.
I'm going back and nobody knows I failed, right?
Yeah, I think that's why people do it, because they don't want to be embarrassed if they don't continue, if they stop. So that's why sometimes people are in denial. I'm going to start this. I've done that before. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to tell anyone because let them see my results. Well, sometimes they do see the results. No change.
Yeah, or they just kind of slip slowly back into where they were, into that comfort zone that may have been painful, but boy, I was used to doing it, so I'm going back to it.
Exactly. And nobody knows because I didn't tell anyone.
Right. No one knows. That's the important part. If I don't tell anybody, guess what?
My secret.
It's my secret.
That's
Me
right.
and my subconscious. And your subconscious just going, he's going to stop. I know he's going to stop. I know he's not going to follow through. And then the last one. Reward yourself at the end of each week
Okay.
for succeeding.
That's
Reward
good.
that desire and passion. And then at the conclusion of 90 days, give yourself a big reward. And it doesn't always have to be buying yourself something. Take yourself to the beach, go out and shovel snow, do something you really enjoy doing, but reward yourself. Talk positive to yourself. And that's the 7 steps. And if you do that, you'll be successful at changing the habit you want to change.
Well, Dr. Bill, I believe that is so true. The things that you've given us, those 7 steps, I think that if we just go back, listen to the replay, listen to those steps that you are giving us inspiration on how to succeed at whatever habit that you have, how to succeed. And I think I'm going to go back and listen myself because there's some things I'm trying to change. And so I believe that those 7 steps is going to help me begin my new beginnings before the new year come in.
Yeah, don't wait until the new year. You can do it now. If you start now, by the new year, you'll have it all changed. You'll at least have one completely changed. And again, most important, the most successful people in life are successful because they're doing something they're passionate about. Be passionate about yourself and be passionate about your direction in your life. And if you're excited, it makes it all the better. What do they say? If you're passionate about your job, then you're not working every day.
Wow.
Well,
listen.
It's not a drudgery.
No, it's not. And to the singles tonight, everything that Dr. Bill has given us is going to help you if you have habits. Some people have addicted to cigarettes. Somebody's addicted to drinking pop, because pop can be very harmful to your kidneys. So whatever your habit is, go back, listen to the replay, and let those steps help you become that new individual before, it's like Dr. Bill said, before 2015. What do you think about that, Dr. Bill?
I think that's important. Also for the singles, if you look at relationships, sometimes we have habits of picking people that are not good for us.
That's true.
And then the relationship fails, and then we blame ourselves, and then you're off and running. So look at the relationship you have with yourself, change your attitude toward yourself, love yourself, and then change the habit of determining what kind of relationship you want. What do you want from someone else? A lot of people I work with, I ask, do you love yourself fully? And 95% of all people say, no, I don't. Or they say part-time. Well, self isn't good with part-time. So put yourself fully into loving yourself, and if you love yourself, you will attract people who will love you. That good?
That is just outstanding information. Dr. Bill, we are going to look forward to next Monday when you come back and give us some more tips that's going to help us singles become better people. Well, you know what we do here. We keep it real.
Thanks for tuning in to the Michelle Hughes Show. Join us daily for more hot topics with the Queen of Relationships. Always keeping it real. See you tomorrow on the Michelle Hughes Show.